Thanks for joining me on 10 Faves. I'm filling in, well, kind of filling in for Helen or Tamara, who you normally see on our 10 favorite items of the day right here on HSN Live with no guest. And if you notice, I kind of have a little bit of a cold. I have a little bit of the sniffles going on. They have some hot tea for me, and I'm fighting back like any nasal drip. And boy, do I need our next fave, because this is a safe, effective, drug-free relief for sinus congestion. I mean, we're talking about bathing and cleansing and moisturizing your nasal cavity at home, in the privacy of your own home, comfortably and easily. So here's what you're gonna get. First off, it's called the Navage Nasal Care System, and it comes with all of the accessories. Here's what you get broken down so you can see everything that you have. Now remember, we've taken $20 off and you're getting everything. You're getting the nose cleaner, which everything's gonna come with instructions, so really easy for you to do at home, not to be intimidated by. 3 pairs of nose pillows. That's that comfort inside your nose to help this work. The nasal docks, you can actually dock this. The battery door, because it does need 2 AA batteries, which are included. You're getting the cleaning swab, so you make sure you get everything cleaned out. The screwdriver to be able to change out the pods. The countertop caddy, a travel case, that's really important, I'm gonna talk to you why. You are also getting 40 of the salt pods. Now the salt pods are that perfect balance ratio of salt and water. So if you ever tried to do sort of that at-home system, and you know that one where you're trying to figure out how much water, how much salt, is it too warm, is it too cold, how do I tilt my head, do I tilt it back to, well, what's happening? That's pushing everything through. What Navage has done is they using gentle powered suction to be able to pull, not push, the saline through the nose. So right here on top is where you're gonna put your salt pod. So this actually opens and you'll put your salt pod in the top. So remember, that salt pod is to bathe and clean and moisturize. It's the perfect ratio of salt and water. You'll close that, and then you're gonna be able, this is where, you know, you'll put your nose, your nasal cavities right here, and what happens is, in one direction it's pushing saline, and in the other direction it's pulling it. So you no longer have to shift your head and fold your head and move your head. Everything is a push-pull system, gently, effectively, and completely drug-free. Also makes it really neat and tidy. Have you ever tried to do this at home and you never really know how it works? Well, Navage has created a system. It's using gentle powered suction, excuse me. So you're pulling clean saline from one side to the other. So back around the backside of the nose and around the other side. So it's doing sort of doing a push-pull system. And then it is putting all of that, the salt water that's now cleansed your nasal cavity back into the container. So easy cleanup, totally tidy and countertop friendly. So you can do this in the privacy of your own home. You're also getting 40 of the exclusively designed salt pods to go with it. So here's a pack of 30, and then you're also getting an additional pack of 10. One of the things that I love so much about this is when you travel. When the weather changes, when the elevation changes, when you go from high elevation to low elevation, when you are on a plane and it is dry, when you change climates and there's pollen and there's allergens. Raise your hand if your sinuses suffer. That's the first spot that you usually start feeling the nasal drip and you feel that uncomfortable scratchiness. Why not be able to travel? And you're getting the travel case with it. This comes included. Everything that you need, and it's safe for the whole family. So because you're getting 3 of the nasal pods to go with it, you can keep this at home, and this is something you could do daily if you wanted to, just when you're feeling that little itch or that scratch, drug-free. I didn't have to take a decongestant if I'm going to use this. But I want you to hear it from some other users from the Navage system, so take a listen to this.
I'm Dr. Howard Levine, a nose and sinus physician. Bathing and flushing the nasal cavity with salt water, called saline, is a time-proven therapy for reducing congestion. What's more, nasal irrigation does this completely naturally, without drugs, simply by flushing and moisturizing the nasal passages. Until recently, nasal rinsing has relied on devices like the neti pot the squeeze bottle that use pressure to push saline through the nose. Navage brings new technology to nasal care. Navage uses powered suction to pull the saline through the nose, washing out allergens, pollen, dust, environmental irritants.
Congestion, suffering right now. I could get this system, take it home, and in the comfort of my own home, be able to safely and effectively, with no, completely drug-free, cleanse and bathe and moisturize the nasal cavity.